Have another look. There's an Adams next away from Haaland. Oh yeah, and Lewis Cook has dived into that one. It's not quite 2-footed, but that, yeah, his studs catch Nico on the shin. There's Adams who pokes it away from Haaland, and as Cook and Nico go for the same ball, Cook has come diving in over the top of the ball, completely over exuberant, and has caught Nico, the Spanish midfielder, on the shin. And Andoni Iraola and his staff here are having a word with the fourth official, but I think whenever they see it again, there'll be nothing that they can argue with. Lewis Cook, who, when Adam Smith arrived on the pitch, handed over the armband, is now off. So, barely 6 minutes, Bournemouth had a man advantage after Mateo Kovacic's red card, and a lunge from Lewis Cook equals up the numbers. He gets a pat in the back from Andoni Iraola on the way off, who still doesn't appear happy with the decision. I'm guessing he probably hasn't seen the replay of it yet, because if he does, and when he does, I think he may begrudgingly agree that Lewis Cook deserves to be given his marching orders. And Nico, he also was not on the pitch very long. He came on for De Bruyne effectively at the same time as Kovacic was sent off. I don't know if he has back to his feet. He is now. He's limping fairly heavily, but he's back on here, Nico. It's Adams away from Haaland and the loose ball, and Cook with his studs up catches Nico on the shin. Thomas Bramwell is right there. He sees it and says not 2-footed, but he lunges into it. He dives into it. Cook. Well, Nico is going to play on, no problem, which is good to see, but a bit of a reckless one from Cook. So, 10 versus 10. Bournemouth's man advantage lasted no longer than 7 minutes. It's Kovacic off for City, Cook off for Bournemouth. City still lead 2-0. Now here's Guardiola on the left-hand touchline. Well, are City just going to be happy to see this one out here? Back with Ederson, the edge of his box. Here's Nico, who appears to be moving freely now. There was initially some concern for him, but appears to be okay. Here's Akanji. Worth noting that Bournemouth have scored 18 goals in the last 15 minutes of games this season, which is the most of any side in the Premier League. And we're now into those last 15 minutes here at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City 2, Bournemouth 0. Marmoush now. Gundogan. Marmoush. Midway inside the Bournemouth half. Gundogan. Guardiola. Left hand side for City. Back for Akanji. Kanji now to Gundogan, left hand side. Now Diaz, midway inside his own half. Diaz to Ederson on the edge of his box. Ederson in for Marmoush, challenged there by Zabarnyi, and Adams wins it, but it cannons off Akanji. And now Marmoush will try and come away with it, but he's pushed off balance there by Ilya Zabarnyi. It's a free kick to City on 77 minutes here. And City led 2-0 at the break, and they still lead 2-0. But both sides have had red cards in this second half, 7 minutes apart. Mateo Kovacic first for a last man back foul on Evan Nielsen after a loose pass by Josko Gvardiol. And then Lewis Cook sent off for a lunge on City substitute Nico just 7 minutes later. And City will look to see this one out and put themselves in pole position for Champions League football next year. As I mentioned, the last time they finished outside the top, well, outside the top 4 actually, but outside the Champions League places, when they finished 5th in 2009-10. Now, as we know, 5th will be enough for the Champions League this year. But a win here puts them on the 3rd on 68 points, with all of Newcastle, Chelsea and Aston Villa all on 66 points, and Nottingham Forest on 65. So it's going to be a thrilling final day. I'll be at the City Ground for the clash between now 4th place Chelsea and 7th place Nottingham Forest. With a historic European place on the line for the Santos men, and Heisen sells Kepa short as Kieran comes up off of Haaland, but Zabarnia gets to the loose ball first and nods it away. But now Nico wins it back off Tavernier. Third here, just put the icing on the cake for City. Nico, right hand side of the penalty area, goes to the byline. Followed there by Heisen and Brooks eventually cleared away. Semenyo gets a touch to it, but Guardiola wins it back again. About 10 minutes to go here now at the Etihad. Manchester City 2, Bournemouth 0. Now it's back with Ruben Diaz midway inside the Bournemouth half, and he's happy just to stand on the ball and slow everything down. Gundogan now. Gundogan into Haaland. Gundogan again. Haaland on the edge of the box has Guardiola over, tries to get a pass to him but can't, and that's because he's fouled by Adam Smith on the edge of the box. So free kick it is to City, right on the edge of the D. It's a dangerous place for a free kick, but also it's no cliche, but it's true. It's hard to get a ball up and over the wall there. Haaland trying to move the ball on to Josko Guardiola. He nutmegs Adam Smith, who, well, in Smith's defence, there's nowhere really he can go, but also at the same time, it's a stone wall. Free kick as he brings Haaland to ground, and Haaland is one of, well, numerous City players hanging around the ball. I'll see who is actually going to take this one. So they're trying to do a bit of an element of surprise here, City. As Thomas Bramall is just trying to sort out the distance to the wall. They also were missing a ball there for a while. Omar Marmish has one in his hand now. And you can see the number 16 shirt of Rodri getting himself ready down there. And this will be a big moment for Manchester City. They are saying goodbye to a modern great in Kevin De Bruyne. They could be saying welcome back to one of those who hasn't been here since the end of September now. Free kick seems to have thrown itself out. The wall is back. The two men who have scored the goals for City, Omar Marmoush and Bernardo Silva, over. It's Wayne Marmoush over the wall and just couldn't get it down. It's so hard to do both. Get it up and over the wall and down again, and after all that, Marmoush couldn't do it. So, goal kick to Bournemouth. We are about to see Rodri return here. 81 minutes on the clock. He has played just 65 Premier League minutes this season. An injury that forced him off at half-time in the Euro 2024 final in Berlin. He missed the early part of the season, and then having played, so Evan Nielsen looks to find the run of Kerkez, but Cannon is cleared away. After playing just 65 minutes of Premier League football, plus a Champions League tie this season for City, a ruptured ACL and put their main man, one of the world's best midfielders, out of action all year, and well, you can't help but feel that his absence certainly contributed to City's, well, poor season by their standards. Josko Guardiola has the ball in his hand for a throw-in, but here comes the sub. It's going to be Erling Haaland who's withdrawn. He has a smile on his face. I think he's happy to see the man who's replacing him. And that's an ominous sight for teams, if not this season, and certainly next. Rodri, fit and healthy, making his first Premier League appearance since limping off after just 21 minutes against Arsenal here on the 22nd of September. Rodri returns for Manchester City. What a big moment here. 82 minutes gone. Haaland off, Rodri on. Bournemouth are making a sub here too. Indeed they are. Milos Kerkez is coming off. He has really ran himself into the ground tonight, and the young Argentinian Julio Soler is on his base. But the big news, Rodri back on the pitch here at the Etihad, getting a few minutes of the Etihad under his belt before the trip to Fulham at the weekend. Also, the Canadian international striker Daniel Jebison is on here for Evan Nielsen. Very well. So he's going to be a tough ass to be up front at the Etihad. Very lonely night up there in Brazilian. So it's, for City it's Haaland off, Rodri on, and for Bournemouth it's Kerkez and Evan Nielsen off. For this man on the ball, Soler and Jebison. Jebison's trying to make a run ahead, but Brooks decides not to use him. Brooks now to Adams. Out to the right for Smith. Semenyo. Semenyo cuts inside. Zabarnyi. Tavernier. Heisen. Now Soler on the left hand side. Dummies across. He's back to Heisen. Midway inside the City half on the left. Soler again. Tavernier. Heisen. Now Zabarnyi. Over the top looking for Brooks, but Diaz got the touch. Not down by Soler. Plenty of him. There's Rodri the first touch. He makes it now ahead of Tavernier. Gives the handball against Julio Soler, but nothing doing, says Thomas Bramall. Now Marmoush, who's now up front there really on his own after that substitution, but here comes Marmoush trying to take on Zabarnyi and Adams, but the American will nick it off him. So, Sunday, final day of the season. 10 games on all at once. 4 PM UK time kickoffs. Manchester City will be at Fulham, knowing that they still need to wrap up Champions League football. This win has very much put them in the driving seat. They're now in third on 68. 2 points ahead of that gaggle of teams on 66, that being Newcastle, Chelsea and Aston Villa. A point in a game further back down to Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth, well, they come into tonight with the faintest of hopes of catching Brighton for an 8th place that might get Europe. It was all a lot of things had to go their way. And probably the most difficult one that didn't go their way was winning at the Etihad. Tough thing to do, but they will finish on Sunday against Leicester in what really is a dead rubber now, but will be a chance to the Vitality Stadium crowd to show their appreciation for this team that have really been a joy to watch at times this season. Pulled off some brilliant results. Really good football played under Andoni Iraola. There's still time they might get themselves back into this. Yeah, Soler's cross is blocked behind for a corner, so he's been bright since coming on. That's a corner kick for Bournemouth. Also for Liverpool, Crystal Palace will be a real day of celebration. The league winners against the FA Cup winners. Liverpool being presented with the Premier League trophy on Sunday at Anfield. What a moment that will be. Corner delivered here by Brooks. Up goes Heisen, away by Diaz, and helped on his way again by Marmoush. But Rodri tries to get there. Smith gets to it first. Gundogan looking for Rodri, but Heisen gets in the way. Last time, of course, Liverpool lifted a Premier League title was in 2020, the COVID season, where Brooks comes forward here, away by Gundogan on the penalty spot. Whenever, of course, Liverpool, Jordan Henderson, the captain at the time, lifted the trophy in an empty Kop stand. An incredible moment for Liverpool fans celebrating across the world, but Sunday will be something really special for Arne Slot's men and Liverpool Football Club, winning a first Premier League title in front of fans, let's say. A wonderful moment for the famous old club. Manchester City, well, they've had 4 of those celebrations in a row, won't be 5, but here comes Marmoush. Oh, Kettle's got miles out of his goal, nearly to the halfway line, and Marmoush got it past him, but Zabarnyi beat the Egyptian people. Kettle really back off in the air. I think it came from City. He might have stopped Marmoush from going after that one, but goodness me, that's not what we expect the goalkeeper to pop up near the halfway line, but his presence did enough to spook Marmoush, and his touch was dealt with by Zabarnyi. Meanwhile, there's a handball by Marcus Tavernier, and he gets booked, probably partially for handball and also the fact he booted the ball away afterwards. It was Silva who put Marmoush away. Now, in fairness, Kettle was a long way to his goal because he wasn't expecting the ball to come to him, so he had no option there as well. But they said he should have been there, he had no option. But Marmoush knocked it past him, but lost his momentum and Zabarnyi mopped up. So anyway, ball now at the feet of Ederson. City just doing a good professional job here in this second half. 2-0 lead at half time. A stunning strike from Omar Marmoush, a real genuine goal of the season contender. And doubled up by Bernardo Silva, and a dominant first half for City. The second half, there's been a couple of chances either way, but really City haven't looked too troubled. Now they might get. There's Rodri here. There's Nico looking for Gundogan. Nico on the edge of the box. He's overrun that one slightly. Nico, he scored anyway. That was fully overrun that ball, but Nico with a lovely finish to really put the bow on the final home game of the season for Manchester City. They lead 3-0. Rodri put him away. Gundogan was looking the ball, played across goal, but Nico went himself, was surrounded by three Bournemouth defenders, but he lashed it home past Kepa, and City in the 89th minute. Like I said, I was just rounding up really the game, and Nico really puts the bow on the final home game of the season. City will finish the season with 5 home wins in a row. Nico looks up, he dummies, gets past Adam Smith, as the Barney there too. To be honest, I think Kepa won't be too pleased being beaten at his front post, but it's a good finish from the young Spanish midfielder. Placed it really well. To be honest, 3 doesn't flatter City. They were good this evening without being spectacular. They just did a very professional job, and Andoni Iraola's men. Kevin De Bruyne is leaving too, and Rodri's return to work party. Nico, the first Premier League goal, a big moment for him too. We'll see here what sort of added time we'll have. Remember, it's 10-on-10 here. Red cards, 7 minutes apart from Mateo Kovacic and Lewis Cook. That's Tyler Adams now. Let's practice the Barney. 90 minutes as ticked over here. Semenyo's into the corner with Guardiola. Best in terms of good work, Antoine Semenyo. There's still something left in this Bournemouth. Following from Smith away by Akanji. 6 added minutes here. So we're going to have a good chunk of added time at the end of this one. So Barney almost broke by Marmoush, but he finds Semenyo, and now Smith, right hand side, midway inside the City half it. Again, as much as I said 3-0 doesn't flatter City, Bournemouth will still be looking to push for the goal. Though, so Barney loses that one, and unfortunately